Louise here. If you're new to me and my channel, I have a Teachers Pay Teachers store and a website where I help students and teachers about everything when it comes to mental math, including math fact fluency. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to use Jamboard to differentiate your lessons and just general instruction, especially when you're online or teaching remotely, but even when you're in class, so that you can help learners no matter where they are. If you are brand new to Jamboard, be sure to check out my other video that shows you ways to use Jamboard in general, as well as how to make your own. And I also have a video that shows you how to assign and upload a Jamboard to Google Classroom. Those ones are walkthrough, over-the-shoulder tutorial videos that you will absolutely love. I'm going to show you how I differentiate my Jamboards. I actually use a color code to do this, which my students have come to know, and you are welcome to take my color code and use it for yourself, or if you just want to buy the Jamboards that I've made, I will link those down in the description of this video. Without any further ado, let's get into it. So there are a few ways you can differentiate when it comes to using Jamboards. One way is to have different pages or slides. So if you go up here on the top and you click these little arrows, you can create a new frame. A frame is just another way of saying a slide, so see, here you have another one. If you want to delete one, you can just click down, little dots, delete, because we don't need that one. So you could put them all on one document, but I highly recommend against doing that for a couple of reasons. One, if you put them all in one document, it can be kind of confusing to the students exactly what they're supposed to do. So I prefer to have different Jamboards. This allows me to assign one specific Jamboard to a particular group of students. I can differentiate them, so if you already have tiers, or you're doing RTI or multi-tiered systems of support, you can figure out which one each group is supposed to do. But when I'm thinking of differentiating, I'm thinking of how can I make what I'm teaching accessible for their learning at whatever level they're at. So I try actually not to think in tiers. I know that some teachers are required to do that because that's what their admin asks. I try to think of it individually because this makes more sense to me. Sometimes I have a student who they have already memorized their math facts. Their mental math skills are pretty on point, but they just haven't mastered a particular algorithm yet. And so if I'm teaching the partial products method for multiplication and they know their math facts, I don't need to give them another assignment like the easy level in math facts, right? I might give them a very hard one just so I can refresh their skills, or I might make a custom assignment for them, only doing the ones I know they need help with. Now, how you track this is up to you. You can use a website like MathFacts Pro, or you can have them do an actual paper tracker. I actually do have a product like that in my store. It's called the MathFact Mastery Tracker, and it's actually a system that helps them practice their math facts on their own and with partners and track their progress, right? And they have a grid that they color in as they master them. But whatever you choose, I would highly recommend that you have your student take the ownership of tracking that. That way you know and they know what they need to practice, and then using whatever data they've collected on themselves, you can make the extra practice assignment that's made especially for them. Another video, and I think I did it at the intro as well, I mentioned that I use a color code. So anytime I'm making Jamboards for my students, I use green tiles or sticky notes if it's an easy one. I use yellow if it's a medium one. I use orange for hard, pink for very hard, blue for extra practice or for assessments. And so you don't have to use the same one. I just find that because that's how we usually do tiers, like with highlighters, it's easy. So if you wanted to make a new sticky note, you would just click on sticky note, choose the color, put whatever you want in a tile, and then put it on. You can do transparent tiles as well. So if you wanted to have a more colorful background, if you wanted it to be transparent, you can just click on that little box that says none, and then you would click save at the end once you have it the way you want it. But since this isn't an actual Google Classroom that I use for my students because I have to keep all that information private, this is kind of the dummy one I use for tutorials. I don't have any students in here yet, but if I did and I was assigning something, I could go to classwork, create, assignment, all of that. And then if I only wanted certain students to get an assignment, if I click down this drop-down menu here, instead of clicking all students, I can actually click the individual students who I want that assignment to go to. So if I only want 6 students to get the easy assignment, I can just click on those, put in the easy Jamboard, attach it from my Google Drive, assign, done. If I only want 3 students to get this extra practice, so I've made just for them, it's a little more challenging, I can just assign it to them. So that's another way to differentiate. That's kind of a Google Classroom hack in general, but really good for differentiating, and especially if you want to have like multi-tiered assignments. You can also, if you're not sure like which level they should be at, or for this one specifically, you can start by giving all the students in the Google Meeting or in the Zoom the link to the easy assignment. Like you could assign all of them to them, but then just assign the easy one to everyone first. And as students are done, you can have them let you know in the chat box. Or if you're doing this in person, because I do use Google Classroom and Jamboard and all of these things for in-person instruction as well. So as I tell you that they're done with easy, they can do medium, so on and so forth. If you are doing this, I'm not a huge fan of rewarding students with more work, like, oh good, you're done, do this extra thing, because then it teaches students that if they are really quick, then they're just going to get rewarded for more work. So this is how you do that to avoid that. Every time you assign something in Google Classroom, you have the option of either assigning points to it or assigning a certain number of points. So if I go back in here, this is for the 100 points. So instead of using the actual points to grade, because I actually don't use the points for grades, I use the points to actually earn things, okay? So the grade is like how much accuracy they had, okay? So even if a student did this assignment and they didn't get most of them right, I would still give them 100 points for completion and for effort, their due diligence, okay? The points that they earn, this is also kind of a classroom management tool, the points that they earn go into Class Dojo and they can earn different things. So it's on them to track their points and to make sure they've been entered in Class Dojo, or you could even have, if they're older, have them track their own points in a Google Sheet. You could make the template, assign it to them at the beginning of the year, and they can track it and add it. Another little classroom management hack. And then as they earn certain points, it's their responsibility to let you know so that they can get a prize or some kind of reward or incentive. You have students that have definitely mastered their math facts and you're not sure what to do with them while you have all the other students practicing. This is easier to do in a math workshop or math center activity where you could just assign it to them. But say you're in an online setting where it might be a little bit harder for you to manage. One thing you can do is you can actually make it an assignment for students to make a board for someone else. So you can give them this blank board or whatever times table they're practicing, because the ones will have the ones here too, so on. And then one part of the assignment is for them to make a board for someone else to do. And then the second part of the assignment is for them to actually do the Jamboard that someone else creates and assigns for them. So this is a way for them to practice with someone else, and it's a way to honestly fill time, but keep them still on task while you're working with other students. And I have an extra bonus tip that not every teacher might feel comfortable with, but it's super powerful and impactful if you're willing to do it. Do this for every student, for every assignment. I do try to spread it out, but you can actually make custom videos for your students, either walking them through what they missed, what they need help with, what they're doing well, and just general feedback for their assessments or their assignments. Actually see in the Google Forms assessments I make, I will be sure to link those back down in the description of this video. I don't know why I keep getting tongue-tied. I'll link those down below as well. But in the assessments I have, I actually put videos so that when students get an answer wrong, even if it's their multiplication facts, they hear some tips for memorizing them in the future and just general tips for even taking tests. Let me show you an example. So this one isn't all the way done yet, so if you've bought this one, it might look a little bit different by now, but this is one of my Google Forms assessments for the 2 times table. So really, really simple. I just have a multiple choice question there and they select it, okay? And when they select it, so let me just go ahead and I'll click some random ones. I'll do some right, some wrong so you can see. And on my assessments, I try to only have like 10 questions, and the reason for this is honestly just for overwhelm, because the students don't need, like, if you go on those like websites, Math Facts Practice websites, they can get so many drills where they get like 100 questions or more, so they don't really need to have that. I mean, they don't need to have it often anyway, but they definitely don't need to have it now. Oh, my email, right, okay. Which email do I use? Let's go ahead and use my normal one. Yeah, so married name is Verlenich. I use Roberts as my maiden name though, just because it seems to be easier for everyone to spell and to say. Okay, so when they submit their test, they actually can see the answers right away. And for each answer, I don't know if you knew this, but for Google Forms, you can actually put individual feedback and even videos. So see on the right ones, nothing else, it's just a green check. But on this one, it's going to have some feedback. See, I have some instructions there, and I have this video. So let's see if I don't know if you'll be able to hear it while I play it, but let me just show you. Okay, so you don't have to hear the whole thing, but just so that you see that when they get an answer wrong, I actually have a video assigned. Now, some of these videos will be the same because I have like a collection of videos depending on what the answer is. So that's another thing that you can do to differentiate your instruction. After you have them practice in Jamboard, you can give them an assessment in Google Forms, and then you can actually add videos in for feedback to tell them how they did and to give them support and motivation to do it again. If you don't want to bother with all that, I completely understand. I have a lot of videos I've recorded, I have Jamboards that I've made. You can find all of those goodies and all the links to the resources down in the links below in the description. Okay, I've already given you a lot for today. I don't want to overwhelm you, so we're going to keep it there. I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I have a tutorial where I walk you through different ways to use Jamboard in general instruction online, and specifically how you can create your own Jamboard. So you can watch the video on that. It might already be popping up as an option, or you can find the link in the description below. I also have templates for you. So if you scroll down to the template or to the description, you can actually see a link to some Jamboard templates that you are welcome to use. Please only use them for your personal and classroom use. They are not licensed for commercial use, so please don't make a Jamboard with my templates and sell them. That's not cool. If you have questions about anything that you were watching today, if you need more help and support, I would love to help you. You can drop your comments down in the comments below on this YouTube video, or you can feel free to DM me on Instagram at mathwithminis. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'd love to hear from you. If you found any value in this video, which I hope you did, I hope this was helpful for you. If you did, go ahead and like this video, hit that subscribe button, and click the bell so that you never miss a notification of a new post. But also super appreciate it if you would follow my store on Teachers Pay Teachers. You'll get a notification anytime I upload a new resource or even a freebie. So you can find that link in the description below as well. See you next time.